Well, good morning, everyone. Lord, it's bright. So I've got a few hours before I go into work tonight, and I should be laying down resting, but if you've watched the channel enough, you know me by now, I don't sit still. So I've been going in and out of the trail that I've started a lot, and a lot more than I realized, between firewood and mulch and just making trips back in there to check trail cameras, to continue to extend the trail. And there's a few areas that's pretty rough and bad, especially on the tractor. You know, it just has no suspension. So while I've got a few hours today that I can play around, I think I'm gonna go in there and take the box blade and at least start smoothing some of that beginning section of trail out. That way when I continue to make all these trips in there, you know, to keep cutting on the trail or to pick up some more firewood, it's not gonna beat me and the tractor to death. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. We'll see what else I get into. You know how these videos go. Sometimes they're planned, sometimes I jump on a million different projects. Let's get started. As y'all can see, as I was dragging in here, it just wasn't cutting much dirt. It's just kind of pulling the leaves, a few other things along. And the reason that is because I don't have this adjusted properly. So you've got two blades on the bottom, and as you adjust this top link right here, it changes the angle of this box blade. So if I want to cut going forward, I want the box blade to kind of be nose down, and right now I can tell it's kind of nose back. And whenever you'd want it nose back is if you're going to use the back cutting blade pushing into something. And I may have to do that here in just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is adjust this top link in to where I roll this box blade a little that way, and that'll put that cutting edge down just a little. And you don't have to go far, and it'll start making a difference. Now what I'm going to have to do here is just make a bunch of passes in and out until I start busting up roots and dragging junk out of the way, and eventually I'll start scraping dirt and leveling it. Now if you get to a really bad area with a big high hump, that's when I usually like to have the blade down in the back and I'll back into it. That way your tractor wheels are riding on level ground that you just cut, and it's keeping it nice and level the whole way. Right now, whenever you cut going forward, as a tractor drives over bumps, so does your box blade. So I may have to wind up pushing this entire trail backwards to make it smooth, then go forward. But it's a whole lot quicker going forward, so I think I'm gonna make a few passes that way and see how this turns out. Just use the bucket to push over and bust up some of that big lighted stump that I showed y'all. I really want to get some of that. It's really good lighted. However, I'm seeing a lot of what I believe are bull ants coming out of it. I don't play around with those. Those bite pretty good, so probably gonna leave this alone for today. But it's busting up pretty good with the tractor pushing on it. And I'll come back and get this later once those ants settle down. Well, I'm done messing around on the tractor. I've still got some areas that need a little bit of attention, so I'll run the Ranger down here. I think while the weather's good right now, I'm gonna go ahead and come on in here and take the axe, chop up some of these roots that I can see, and take the garden rake and kind of smooth some of these last piles out. If there's one thing that I have realized over the years working with a tractor, take your time, work slow. Otherwise, you can create more of a mess for yourself than the tractor's gonna fix. So I think this is one of those times to where some of the delicate work, it's time to just get off the tractor, grab a garden rake, throw a few things out the way. Like I said, take the axe, chop up some of these roots. There's no point in trying to dig them up with a tractor or moving a tiny little pile like this with the tractor, because a lot of times you'll dig in, like I said, just make it worse for yourself. The other reason I want to go ahead and do this today is, hey, you can see how windy it is. It's crazy windy right now. Hopefully you can hear me. So I bet in the next couple of days, with all these leaves falling, this trail is going to look like it's been here forever. It won't be all this nice dirt that you see. So now's the time while I could see these roots to go ahead and cut them. Otherwise, the next few days are going to be covered up with leaves. So let me jump on this. I appreciate y'all watching. We'll keep this one short and sweet, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.